Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today, we're going to play some King Diamond. And King Diamond, this is dedicated, of course, to Lee, but I also wanted to dedicate it to another metalhead, Tony, and maybe another metalhead, two another metalheads that I know would be both Eric's. That would be Eric Meredith and Greybeard. So I don't know, we've only done, I think, one King Diamond reaction on the channel, and I just want to see how much attention this gets, if any. I'm a huge fan, but King Diamond is a different, we did one, we did Halloween, Alexa and I. So I want to do a reaction from the album Them, as you can see, and I'm gonna do the Invisible Guest because I think I just remember this cover, and obviously Abigail. It's like, I don't know if it's like a pre an album before. Let me just check real quick. Abigail. Oh no, it's after. So it's almost like when they get to the Abigail is like when they're on the way. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah. So this is from 1988, King Diamond, and we're gonna try and go see King Diamond live. Lee and Alexia and I hope we will make it. But yeah, today I'm gonna react to some music from the album Them from 1988, and this is called The Invisible Guest. I don't know if I've heard this. I last heard it in high school because we had like this guy in our classroom, and he was just a huge King Diamond fan, and he pretty much introduced us, and we were kind of like struggling with it because we were so used to like James Hetfield and stuff, and Megadeth and Iron Maiden, that this was just way out there. This was like a different kind of metal, so yeah. so yeah, let's get into it. And then I don't think this is the one that you wanted me to show Alexia, so that's why I choose something from that album, but I want to dedicate it to one of the biggest four metalheads of the channel that I know of. If you're another metalhead, then come out and join us. But for now, it's Tony, Eric, Greybeard, and Lee. And here we go. Let's see. I have no idea, but I just know that King Diamond is an amazing singer and he is an amazing musician. So let's go for it. Here we go with The Invisible Guest. wow, wow. Like, okay, I did not remember it being this good. And for you people that already clicked the video off, I'm sorry, man. You know, you don't get it. You know, this is an art form that, and this guy still sings exactly this way. This is 1988. Right now, he still has those chops. That's dedication. That's just, you know, it's a different thing, you know. Man, I did not know, I did not remember. So let's just look at this real quick. So this is the third album. I never knew this was the third album. I never knew Abigail was the second album. I didn't know anything about King Diamond. Let's be honest. I just knew, and I heard I had some CDs that were burned, so no real information, not really like the booklet. But yeah, so 1988. This is when Justice for All came out. It was crazy. So the solos on this are ridiculous. You know, the Andy LaRocque is on this. Andy LaRocque is honestly as good as Yngwie Malmsteen, you know, when you think about it. The amount of arpeggios here and shredding that goes on, and clean and beautiful and very nice choice of notes as well, you know. So he's the only one that I know. And King Diamond, of course, vocals, keyboards, producer and mixing. And then we have, you know, on the bass and guitar, but these people I don't know: Hal Patino, Pete Blank. Drums, Mickey D, I don't know him. But this is really like the thing about what I like about King Diamond is that he can go so high, this falsetto, and then he harmonizes with that falsetto even higher. I don't even know how higher he goes. I would have to check it out on a keyboard. But I love when he goes into that medium range voice, that almost like that monstrous voice. And then he goes into this, yeah, that kind of voice, you know. He does like the, and then he goes like, he does like, I don't know if it's 3 octaves. I was looking at King Diamond, and then there's King Diamond the artist, but there's also King Diamond the band, and then there's Merciful Fate. They're all obviously related, but King Diamond, let's just read about the man. So I never know his name was Kim Bendix Peterson. So he's now 68. He still sings like this. It says, as a vocalist, he's known for his powerful and wide-ranging countertenor singing voice, and in particular, his far-reaching falsetto screams. He's the lead vocalist and lyricist for both Merciful Fate and King Diamond. Also plays keyboards and guitars on studio recordings, but uses live show. So he plays all the guitars. Yeah, he uses live shows to focus solely on his vocal performance. Diamond is renowned for his dark lyrical content and his star concept. So all the albums are content albums. He has been an influence for other rock metal artists such as Metallica, Slayer, and Cradle of Filth. Of course, Metallica, they were hugely influenced by Merciful Fate. But yeah, let's just go back and let's go through the music. But I just wanted to pause real quick to see how good the guitar is. And his singing is just like ridiculous. It's ridiculously good, you know? All right, so, and the song has also, it's almost progressive. I don't want to call it prog metal, but there is a lot of changes going on, you know? So let's click on, I'm going to read a little bit about the album itself, because I want to see what they consider this album to be, you know, instead of just heavy metal. Let's continue. Wow, so crazy. I mean, honestly, King Diamond was way more melodical than a lot of bands at the time, you know, and heavy, you know, like if you look at the bands that I was listening to when I discovered this, which was not in 1988, it must have been maybe 98 or something, was the Black Album, Justice for All, but also all the other albums, Kill 'Em All, right? The Lightning, Master of Puppets, but Megadeth, you know, and I don't know, they were not this intense. Now, obviously, there's a lot of where people could fall off because it is very like theatrical, you know, it's very, the lyrics are very dark. I'm not consuming that right now because it's like I'm more interested about the music. I'm about the there's an amazing amount of riffs that are super interesting. The solos are super polished, super interesting as well. Just the way that they're like, all the stuff that's being done on the lead guitar is amazing. The different voices, like I said, you know, there's this very high falsetto voice, and then when he harmonizes with that, I would really like to know how high, or if he goes lower, to harmonize with it. Then there's this middle voice. There's almost like this voice that he uses when he sings this dialogue. So he's almost like, it almost sounds like crying. And then I love that there's this monster voice where he's like, rah, but it's still not growling. Again, another thing I love about King Diamond is all the artwork. It's all a concept, it's all a story, you know. And I love that it's all kind of like connected, every song. It's also, that's why Lee told me you have to listen to all this stuff in one go, you know, because it's way more effective, because it is a story, you know. But I'm just surprised how heavy this is against other albums of that year that came out, you know, I mean, Justice for All is a very heavy album, but not really, you know. It's like there's some really cool riffs, and they're very long and proggy, but it's not really like heavy per se. This is much heavier. Has like a heavier impact. Now let's go to Iron Maiden. 1988 was Seventh Son. I think Seventh Son was pretty heavy. It had keyboards and stuff. It's just a weird comparison because those are the bands I was listening to. Now, I think Judas Priest, I think they were doing Turbo Lovers. So I think, is that true though? Let's see, Judas Priest, before they just became insanely heavy with Painkiller. Let's see what they were doing in 88. I think it was Turbo Lover, which was very commercially successful, but they kind of toned it down because they added keyboards. Or it was Ram It Down. I don't know. Let's see. 1988. Ram It Down. Oh, I mean, I do know my stuff with Judas Priest. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do know it. Ram It Down was, yeah. Was that Hammer on the Anvil? Ram It Down. Nightcrawler, is that? No, that's all from like. So after that was just so. It got so heavy after this album. So I just wanted to see what they were doing against, you know, their the other bands, you know. Turbo was 1986, so that kind of like makes sense with Iron Maiden, like Somewhere in Time and Turbo Lover. They have like the same synthy sound, you know. Turbo Lover is amazing. It's just such a good track. But I don't really know a lot of this because I never owned this album. I had just like the best of, which was what this amazing recording they came out with. Let's see, I think it's right here. Painkiller, that's where I dropped off. Jugulator, that was 7 years later. I bought this really cool collection. It was a 2-disc collection, and it was all the best. No, it's not here. It was all the best from Judas Priest. Oh my god, the latest album is such a masterpiece, and also Firepower. But well, let's keep it to King Diamond. It's just like crazy what they were doing in 1988. So heavy and really effective. Let me know what you think. You know, this is honestly very improvised, this whole video. But let me know what you think of the music and just the style in general. I know a lot of people don't listen to metal on this channel, unfortunately, and they do listen to Black Sabbath and Uriah Heep, and that's heavy metal, guys. I'm sorry, but it is. Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin. Even though Led Zeppelin, yes, it's a more bluesed, it's a distorted blues band. Very, very heavy. So let's just keep it real here. But yeah, obviously this is a step up. This is more. The lyrics are very dark, and there's a lot of lead guitar here. So, but yeah, let me know what you think. But yeah, again, dedicated to my good friends in metal. Let's stay metal, guys, and thank you. And I'll see you all in the next one.